This is Joe and Josh Talk, the Walking Dead questions and answers session. I'm Joe,
I'm Josh.
and we want to say, Merry belated Christmas to all of you. We hope
Yes.
we hope that you all had amazing Christmas, and 2017 is approaching us very rapidly, and this will be our last show of this year, man.
Last one.
It's crazy how fast this year has gone by. I'm
Yeah,
telling
man.
you.
It's been a great year for Walking Dead fans. We've really enjoyed being able to make these videos, and we've really enjoyed the interaction uh, that we've gotten from making these videos. We got a ton of questions submitted for this week's show. If we don't get to cover all of them, our apologies. We're going to try to cover as many as we can. But we are very excited to round this year out by answering your questions and talking about some of the most unique theories
Right.
and some of the most interesting plot points coming up in the show in 2017.
Yeah, man. It's definitely something that is going to be worthwhile because a lot of answers, a lot of questions, excuse me, is going to be answered as soon as February gets here. We just got to wait a couple more months. But anyways, jump right into it. The first question that we have is, who is the person wearing the boots at the end of the mid-season finale episode? That's a good one.
Great question.
That's a great question because we know just as much as you guys do. It could be anybody. It could be the girl from what's her name from Oceanside.
Yeah.
It could be her. It could be Dwight.
Yeah.
Or it could be what many people are saying that it is, a whisper.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be one of those things that they will probably tease out for a couple more episodes, when the season does return. And it's clear that whoever this is, they know about Alexandria and they have a vested interest in seeing what's going on, there. And it could be, people from Oceanside because maybe they're kind of suspicious about Alexandria. Maybe they're wondering whether these people can be trusted. It could be Dwight because, there has been talk about some dissension in the ranks.
Right.
And maybe Dwight is kind of looking to speak with people at Alexandria. Maybe he's kind of trying to move away from the Saviors. And like you said, it could also be the Whisper. It could be a great way to introduce this new group, kind of being these people that lurk in the shadows, that are very good at hiding themselves and disguising themselves and, remaining invisible, so to speak, in this world. So it could be anybody, but more than likely it's one of those three.
One of those three. And if we're wrong on all three, then hey, we'll all be shocked, right? So,
exactly. We love surprises, so it'll be cool.
Yeah. So, Josh, you take the next question, man.
All right. So for the next question, we're talking about Heath, and the big question is, what happened to him?
Good question, because last thing we know, him and Tara were both fighting off walkers on that bridge, and Tara, she comes back from Oceanside and went to go look for Heath, and he was nowhere to be found. So it's hard to tell what happened to him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, like, we finally got a little bit of character development for Heath in that episode.
Right.
We found out that he was, really disturbed by what they had to do to survive, what they did to the Savior's outpost and everything. And we finally got a bit of character development from him. And in true Walking Dead fashion, as soon as we find out about a character, start to get to know them, start to get a little bit attached, boom, gone. But, as far as we know, he is not dead. I think it's safe to say he's still around. But he was taken. We saw some tire tracks, and we saw a card on the ground that said PPP. And, maybe this could be some kind of code. Maybe this could be the initials of some sort of place or some sort of group. But it's likely that maybe he was kidnapped. Maybe it's some other group in the area that took him hostage. Or it could be, he was on the bridge and he was trying to get away. Maybe the area he was in was overrun with walkers and he, ran off with another group voluntarily to get away. But clearly he is somewhere else. He is with another group now. And that's another thing that we're going to see develop. And I don't know if it's going to be connected to the person in the boots. It would be an interesting
That's
way
what I
to
was
tie
going
the
to
two
say.
together. Yeah,
That's what I was going to say because it's just like, what if the boots? What if it's Heath coming back?
yeah,
It could be him. Nobody ever thought about that. Here, we'll take props.
yeah, dude, that would be awesome.
We'll take props for
We'll
that.
take props. We got it.
We got this. But it's like another thing, which we hope not. This was submitted, and will Morgan die soon? Um, we hope not. Because he kind of brings like a balance to the show.
Yeah,
I love his character. I love what it's all about, and you know, gosh, but and a little spoiler alert for those who haven't, read the comics or whatever. But let's just put it this way: Morgan is not supposed to be where he's at right now in the show.
yeah,
Not supposed to. Me and Josh know this. Probably many of the fans know this, and we're kind of getting spoiled because he's getting to go a little bit further than what he was originally in the comics. So we're hoping that he sticks around a little bit longer.
yeah, absolutely. And another reason he might stick around longer is because, of course, Carol has stuck around, and more comic spoilers.
Sorry, guys.
Spoil all the things, but of course we know that Carol is not supposed to be around either, going by the comics. But that's another thing they changed in the show to keep Carol around. And like you said, Morgan and Carol have this really interesting dynamic between them, where they kind of balance one another out.
Right.
And so I think we'll see Morgan stick around a bit. I think his storyline is still developing. I think he is still kind of facing his crisis, because we just saw him, a few episodes back, training, the young man in the kingdom, and then kind of talking about the philosophy that he has, and still in conflict with himself over that. So I think we're going to see some sort of resolution there before his character dies. So I think he'll stick around for a bit.
Yeah, he should stick around for a little bit. I totally agree with that. And next question, did Michonne really shoot that girl in the car? Well, guys, I don't know how plain it can really get. I mean, she pretty much just gave Michonne permission to shoot her in the face. So
yeah, she pretty much knew that, like, there was no way out for her at that point. Um, I think they both knew that if Michonne, were to have let her go, then Michonne would have had to, she would have paid for that. So Michonne at that point knew she had to do what she had to do, and it just goes to show that Michonne is this really tough character. I mean, we kind of saw her go into the background for a bit,
right,
and we kind of lost sight of what type of character she is. But she really is that tough as nails character who can, really become brutal when she needs to, when it comes to keeping herself and her loved ones safe. So, yes, to answer the question, yes, she capped her with the silencer, no remorse, and probably took her advice and buried the car, or put it to the bottom of a lake or burned it or whatever.
Yeah, because pretty much, she just looked at Michonne and just said, there's a silencer in the glove box.
Yeah.
So, yeah, safe to say that she's long gone. But, okay, moving on.
Yeah,
I'll just
moving
take
on.
this one.
All right. This is one that we were actually talking about before, and the question about Enid potentially being a spy for Negan. And a lot of people have talked about Enid's character for a while being a spy. At first, people were saying she was a spy for the Wolves. Now people are saying maybe she is a spy for Negan. And I'm actually leaning towards a no on this one.
Okay, why's that?
The main reason I don't think she is a spy for Negan is because the scene with the her and the creepy guy with the balloons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that if she had some sort of connection to the Saviors, that wouldn't have happened. Because I get the feeling that guy, I don't think he is, he ranks as highly as, say, Simon or Dwight or other people. But I think that, if she was a spy relaying information to Negan, that scene wouldn't have happened. So, gonna go for a no on that one. But I will say it's interesting how, her character has kind of developed, the relationship she's having with Carl, and also the relationship she's having with characters like Maggie and Sasha when she went to Hilltop by herself, to be there with them So she's a full-fledged member of the group now. I don't really think we have any worries about that. Of course, we could be wrong. Maybe the character in the boots is her. Maybe she's the spy. Maybe she got Heath. We don't know.
I don't know, man. Some crazy twists happen on the show, so you just have to wait and see.
You never know.
Okay, now this one has, this one caught my eye. I really didn't notice it, but the letter A has always been capitalized in every season. What does this mean? This is a new one to me, Josh. What do you think about this? Have you seen this before?
I remember the letter A from the train car at the Terminus camp.
Okay.
And I think there have also been like a few other instances of this throughout the show, and the creators are really artistic in the way they throw little things in there and little throwbacks and little things for continuity. And I don't think it has any major bearing on where the show is going or any future storylines. But I definitely think that there are little themes and things like that. For example, one of the things that you and I talked about. I don't know if we ever actually mentioned this on one of our videos, but the season 7 premiere, the ending scene where they were all at the dinner table and it was with Glenn and Abraham there.
Right.
There were 4 candles on the table at that point, and 2 of them had gone out. And you and I theorized that meant 2 people at that table had died, and 2 more people were going to die. And of course, at the end of the season or the first half, we saw Spencer and Olivia.
Yeah.
Get it? So, little they throw in little things like that, little Easter eggs and cool things in the background like that. So, whoever pointed that out, great eye.
Great
Good looking
eye.
out.
And this is a great one. This is great because I didn't really think that this was a theory until I was talking to you about it, and like we both seen it, and you were telling me that this was a long time theory that's been around. The theory, if Walter White, if anybody doesn't know who that is, he is the bald guy from Breaking Bad. Blue meth started the outbreak. I'm just like, you know what? That's an interesting theory because it could have been so potent, right?
Yeah.
That automatically it's like snorting bath salts. They just go around and start eating people. You never know.
The funny thing is, like, it sounds completely off the wall, admittedly, but there have been videos and things made showing like connections between Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead. One of the things that I remember specifically from one of those videos was there is a scene, I think it was from Woodbury, where the governor and it might have been Martinez were in a room together, and one of them has a pack of cigarettes and has a logo on it, and it's the same logo that we see on a pack of cigarettes in Breaking Bad. So I don't necessarily think that the meth started the outbreak, but I do think that it's likely that the showrunners put these little things in both shows. Again, with these sort of Easter eggs and cool things like that. But would be really interesting, like if Breaking Bad was a prequel to The Walking Dead.
Who knew? It came from a drug. Who knows?
Meth, not even once.
Not even one time, man. This crap happens. No, but it's like, and also this is a really, really good question. Everybody knows that there's a show called Fear the Walking Dead. It's like a prequel. It's kind of like what fills the emptiness while we're waiting for the new season to come on of The Walking Dead. This show comes on. It's called Fear the Walking Dead, and they are saying, do you think that eventually, like down the line, that they will kind of merge these 2 shows? Kind of like Survivor Island.
I don't know if they'll actually merge them. I think that it's definitely safe to say that Fear the Walking Dead is a prequel because it shows how things really started. And throughout The Walking Dead, we have had certain flashback scenes and a little bit of dialogue here and there about how things started. But I do think that Fear the Walking Dead will more than likely stay in its own, little separate arc there. I don't really think we're going to see any crossovers. There are certain interesting characters I wouldn't mind seeing from Fear the Walking Dead, to make an appearance in The Walking Dead. I don't really see it happening though. It's definitely an interesting theory though, and this is another thing that we were talking about, and you and I discussed this after it happened because we both caught on to it. This character Arat, who had made her appearances before, but she really got everybody's attention when she gunned down Olivia.
Right.
And people have been pointing out that her name is Tara spelled backwards. And people have been wondering whether that is going to hold any significance in the show. And it's like, I don't know if there's going to be any specific interaction between Arat and Tara, but I do think we're going to see more of Arat because she does seem to be on the level of Dwight and Simon and these other people who are, high-ranking members of the Saviors.
Right, right. And I think, and how cool. I mean, granted, I hate for Olivia, but that no look like Spinneroonie, like
Yeah.
shot in the face, that was pretty awesome. But
no scope, man.
no scope. Like, I hate no scopers. Anyway,
yeah, they ruin everything.
They ruin everything. It's like, man, all right, we're not getting into Call of Duty. We'll just, but, and last question that we have is who gave Daryl the key to the bike? And of course to escape, either Sherry or Dwight.
Great question.
Hey, I think it could be either or, but yeah. I'm leaning more so towards Dwight because I think Dwight relates to Daryl.
Yeah, I want it to be him.
Yeah,
I want it to be him so bad. Because like with Sherry, it would make sense because obviously she is remorseful. She even told Daryl, you said I was going to be sorry, and I am. So I would not put it past her. And I do think that because she is a member of Negan's harem, that she would have access to keys and things like that. I don't think it's too far fetched to say she could get her hands on a key, if she wanted to. Dwight, of course, we know would easily have access to those sorts of things. And like we were saying, you can kind of see a slight connection forming between Daryl and Dwight. They are obviously empathizing with each other a bit.
Right.
And I really want it to be Dwight, man. I really want him to come around. I really want him to kind of have that redemption story. I think it would be great if we found out he was the one who gave Daryl the key because, in a way, since Merle has been gone, Daryl has not really had anyone. Of course, he has, Rick and, other people he's close to. But as far as that figure who's kind of like a brother, I mean, Dwight is... A lot of people were saying that Daryl's character in the show was inspired by Dwight from the comics.
Right.
We were wondering, were we going to get Dwight in the show because Daryl is so similar to him. So I'm going to say it's Dwight just because I want it to be. I have no proof, but...
We have no proof, but we're going with it because it would make the perfect thing. And I think it's going to be honest with you, because I think it's going to... Because we've already seen, like in the show itself, where Dwight is really getting sick and tired of Negan's crap.
Yeah.
And he's just really tired of him kind of flaunting the fact that he has his wife. So I think, and then also the relationship with Daryl. So I think it's going to happen, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the questions and predictions that we have. They were awesome. Thank you all so much for submitting them. We enjoyed being able to answer them and kind of like give our own predictions along with you. This is our last show of 2016. We have a lot of big things that we're wanting to do, for the show. And we have future projects as well that we're wanting to introduce, and we're looking forward to taking the journey, with you guys in 2017.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So thank you all for watching, and we will catch you in 2017.
Stay awesome.